Here is the instruction video for Friday, September 11th. In American history, we are going to talk about how to keep track of and properly cite our sources. We're going to work on using EasyBib to do that. There is an instructional video linked here. And then your goal today is to finish your research. So over the last few days, you've been working with a partner. In total, between the two of you, you need a minimum of 4 sources. So that's 2 per person. You also need at least one primary source. And your goal for today, again, is to finish your research or get as close as possible before coming to class on Friday. Friday, we're going to talk about how to finish up that cold case task document. Monday, we'll finish up the cold case task document. Tuesday, you'll build and practice your presentation, and then the presentations themselves are next Wednesday. So I'm going to jump to those cold case slides. Today we're looking just at slides 28 through 30. And again, we'll talk about how to keep track of sources. With this research document and with any project you complete where you're doing research, you need to do your best to keep track of sources and give credit where it's due to the person who initially came up with that information. So that's what we're talking about today. You are going to use EasyBib to help you create accurate citations, and you need to install that. It's an add-on. Notice that it goes in Google Docs. So you're going to add that in a Google Doc. You should do it in your task guide by clicking add-ons, then get add-ons. Search for EasyBib, and it'll probably pop up as one of the very first things. And then watch this tutorial video to get help with how to install it in Google Docs and then how to use it. When you find a website that you want to use, then you copy and paste the URL into EasyBib, and EasyBib does all the work for you. It creates the citation. You do that for every source that you use, and when you're all done with your research project, you click Add Bibliography to Doc, and it does all the work. Then that's what you copy and paste into your Google slideshow, the one that you'll present to the class next week. So as you're doing your research today, make sure that you record every source that you use. I cannot emphasize this enough. Do not expect that you'll be able to go back through your search history and find the websites that you used when you're all done with this project. You are looking at way too many sources to do that, and you don't want to have to go back to every single website and try to remember whether you actually used information from it or not. So every time you take information from a website, copy the URL that's up at the top of the search bar and paste it into EasyBib and paste it into that task guide so that you can keep track of it. You have to do this for every source, including the sources that you get pictures from. So your goal for today, again, is to focus on research and taking notes. For every source that you use, you need to record 3 to 5 facts in your own words. Remember, we talked about that yesterday. You need to summarize, not copy and paste from these websites. Make sure that between you and your partner, you have at least 4 sources and that one of those is a primary source, a picture, a newspaper article from that time, an interview, those sorts of things. When you come to class on Monday, whether it's on Zoom or in person, I expect to see that EasyBib is installed in your Google Doc and your research should be nearly complete. So I would expect that you are done with 2 of those squares in the cold case task guide, and you can use extra time on Monday to look at a few more sources and fill out a 3rd. Please email if you have questions. Have a great weekend, and again, make sure that you watch this video. It's linked in these slides in Schoology. It's also linked in the agenda for the day so that you know exactly how to add EasyBib to your Google Doc. Have a great weekend. For those of you who would just really like it all in one place, I'm going to play my screencast here in this slideshow. Quality is not going to be great, so I would encourage you to go back and watch it live instead. Oops. Hey students, here is a quick video tutorial to show you how to add EasyBib to a Google Doc. First of all, this is super important. You cannot add EasyBib in Google slides, you have to be in a Google Doc. So in your cold case task guide, up at the top here, click on add-ons, and then scroll down to get add-ons. You'll notice I already have several, including the EasyBib add-on that we're looking for. But when you select get add-ons, it takes you to a list. It might take a minute to load, and more than likely it will show up right away. But if it doesn't, up here where it says search apps, you click on type EasyBib, and again it'll pop up. Click on it, and then here where mine already says installed, it will give you the option to install it. So you just click on that. It might ask you to sign in with Google or something. Go ahead and do that, and then you have to give it authorization. So anytime it asks if it's okay to add it or to view something, you should select yes. Then, once you've installed it, if you go back to add-ons, it should show up in your list. And when you're ready to cite a source, go ahead here and click Manage Bibliography. And you get this extra window over on the right-hand side. Now, this is really important. More than likely, everything you'll be citing for this project is a website. So make sure that the first thing you do is click this website button. If you leave it on book, which is the default, it will search and search and never find your source. Then you need to enter a website. So let's say I'm researching something on Wikipedia. Maybe I want to learn about Jimmy Hoffa. Was one of the people, the mysteries that you might be researching. And I want to cite this source. So now I'm going to go up to the top. Control-C will copy my URL. And here in EasyBib, Control-V will paste it. Now I click search. Here it is. It's going to generate an accurate citation for me. I click select, and it shows up. And you're going to keep doing that for all of your sources. When you have cited every source you've used for this project, including pictures, and you're ready to put it into your final presentation, then click this red Add Bibliography to Doc button. It will compile your entire bibliography with all of the sources you've used and put it at the end of the document. Then, highlight this, starting with works cited. Use Control-C again to copy it, and you can paste it onto the last slide of the slideshow for your presentation, and you are all set. If you have any questions about EasyBib, go ahead and ask your teacher. Good luck.